The cabin door slammed shut behind me as I stumbled in, the world spinning from too many beers at the lake party. My best friend Mike had passed out in the truck, leaving me to crash on the couch. But there he was, Jordan, Mike's older brother, sitting by the fire with a book, his sharp jawline catching the flicker of flames. In that hazy moment, something snapped inside me. I leaned in without thinking, pressing my lips to his, and he didn't pull away at first. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest, echoing the regret that flooded me seconds later. What the hell had I done? Jordan's eyes widened, a mix of shock and something unreadable flashing across his face as he gently pushed me back. "Alex, what?" he whispered, his voice low, but the damage was already done. I collapsed onto the couch, burying my face in my hands, the alcohol burning through my veins like acid. All those years of hiding, of pretending I was just the straight buddy tagging along on family trips, gone in one stupid, impulsive kiss. Why him? Why now? I'd known Jordan since we were kids, watched him grow from the annoying big brother to this quiet, intense guy who always seemed to see right through me. But I'd buried those feelings deep, convinced they were just a phase, a mistake I'd outgrow. Now they were out, raw and exposed, and I couldn't take them back. Morning came too soon, sunlight piercing through the cabin windows like accusations. Mike banged around in the kitchen, oblivious, yelling about breakfast. I forced a laugh, but inside turmoil churned. Jordan avoided my gaze, pouring coffee with steady hands that betrayed nothing. Did he hate me? Was he disgusted? The thought twisted my gut. Our families were tight-knit, conservative folks from small-town Ohio who'd moved to the suburbs of Chicago for better jobs. Church on Sundays, barbecues on weekends, the whole American dream package. Coming out wasn't an option. It was a grenade that would blow everything up. I replayed the kiss in my mind, over and over, dissecting every second. His lips had been soft, responsive for that brief instant. Had I imagined it? Or was there something there, something mutual that scared him as much as it terrified me? We piled into the truck for the drive back, Mike blasting classic rock, singing off-key. Jordan sat shotgun, staring out the window, his silence a wall between us. I wanted to apologize, to explain it away as drunken nonsense, but the words stuck in my throat. What if he told Mike? What if this ruined everything? Mike was like a brother to me, hell, closer than my own siblings, who barely acknowledged my existence after I moved out. Losing him would gut me. As the miles ticked by, doubt gnawed at me. Was this the end of our friendship? Or the start of something I wasn't ready for? By the time we hit the city limits, I was a mess, forcing smiles at Mike's jokes while my mind screamed for answers. Back home in my cramped apartment, I paced the floor, phone in hand, debating whether to text Jordan. "Sorry about last night," I typed, then deleted it. Too casual. I didn't mean to delete. What did I mean? The truth was, I'd meant it more than anything. Years of stolen glances, of feeling alive only when he was around. It wasn't just attraction. It was a pull I couldn't ignore. But society didn't make room for guys like us. Not in our world. My parents would disown me. Mike's family, with their Bible study groups and anti-gay rants disguised as traditional values, would explode. I sank onto the bed, staring at the ceiling. Why couldn't I be normal? Why did loving someone have to feel like a betrayal? The phone buzzed. Jordan. My breath caught. "We need to talk," the message read. "No emojis, no clues." Panic surged. Was this confrontation? Rejection? I agreed to meet at a coffee shop downtown, neutral ground. As I walked there, every step felt heavier, my mind racing through worst-case scenarios. He'd out me. He'd punch me. He'd pretend it never happened. But deep down, a flicker of hope burned. What if he felt it too? We sat across from each other, steam rising from our cups like unspoken words. Jordan looked tired, shadows under his eyes. "About last night," he started, voice steady but eyes averted. "I wasn't expecting that." I nodded, throat dry. "Me neither. I'm sorry if I—" He cut me off. "Don't apologize. Just tell me why." "Why?" Because you're the only one who makes me feel seen. Because in a world that demands I hide, you're the truth I can't escape. But I couldn't say that. Instead, I mumbled about the beer, about confusion. He listened, then leaned in. Alex, I've been there. The hiding, the pretending. But it's complicated. Mike can't know. His words hit like a punch. He'd been there? Did that mean? Hope and fear collided. We talked for hours, peeling back layers. Jordan confessed he'd known he was gay since high school, but buried it under sports and girlfriends. The pressure from their dad, a strict military vet, was suffocating. If he finds out, it'll kill him, Jordan said, voice cracking. I shared my own fears. My mom's subtle homophobic comments at dinner. My dad's silence that spoke volumes. By the end, something shifted. We weren't alone anymore. But as we parted, the weight settled. This secret could bind us or break us. Days blurred into secret meetings, parks at dusk, late-night drives. Each time, the connection deepened, but so did the guilt. Lying to Mike ate at me. You seem off lately, he said one afternoon over burgers. I shrugged it off, but inside, betrayal festered. Was I choosing love over loyalty? Jordan wrestled too, his texts laced with doubt. What are we doing? He'd write. Yet we couldn't stop. It was addictive, this forbidden truth in a world of lies. Then, the first crack. At a family barbecue, Jordan's ex-girlfriend showed up, flirting shamelessly. He played along, laughing, touching her arm. Jealousy burned through me like wildfire. Was this real or just a cover? That night, I confronted him. If you're ashamed, just say it. He pulled me close, in my mind at least, though we kept distance. I'm scared, Alex. For us, for everything. His vulnerability cracked my anger, but the doubt lingered. How long could we hide before it destroyed us? The tension built like a storm cloud over our stolen moments, each one laced with more desperation. Jordan's hand brushed mine under the table at a diner, his eyes pleading for understanding, but my mind screamed warnings. What if someone saw? What if Mike walked in? The fear was constant now, a shadow that followed me everywhere, turning joy into paranoia. At work, I stared at my computer screen, numbers blurring as thoughts of him consumed me. Why him, of all people? Mike's brother, the one guy who should be off limits. The irony twisted like a knife. The person who understood my pain was also the source of it. I replayed our conversations, his confessions about sleepless nights wrestling with identity. Dad drilled it into us. Men don't cry, don't feel that way, he'd said. I got it. My own father had the same playbook. But understanding didn't ease the ache. Every lie to Mike felt like a betrayal, chipping away at our friendship. Bro, you bailing on game night again? He'd text. I'd make excuses, hating myself more each time. One evening, Jordan showed up at my door, rain-soaked and frantic. I can't do this anymore, he blurted, stepping inside. My heart dropped. Was this the end? But then he grabbed my shoulders, eyes fierce. Not us, I mean the hiding. It's killing me.
Vi tåket till dawn, voice hushed.
He wanted to come out, to live openly, but the cost loomed large. His job in finance, conservative clients. My teaching gig at the high school where rumors could end careers. And family, the biggest hurdle. Mike would understand, I said, hoping it was true. Jordan shook his head. You don't know him like I do. He's got Dad's voice in his head. The next day, doubt hit harder. What if Jordan was right? Mike's casual jokes about those people at parties replayed in my mind. Was he tolerant or just polite? The uncertainty gnawed, turning my stomach. I skipped lunch, pacing my classroom during break. Kids streamed in, oblivious to my turmoil. Teaching history, I lectured on civil rights, words hollow as I hid my own battle. Hypocrite, my inner voice accused. How could I preach equality while cowering? We decided to test the waters subtly. At a group hangout, Jordan mentioned a gay colleague casually. Mike shrugged. Cool, as long as he's good at his job. Relief washed over me, but Jordan's eyes darkened. That's not acceptance. That's tolerance. He was right, the distinction stung. Later, alone, I wrestled with it. Was partial acceptance enough? Or did we deserve full embrace? The question haunted me, fueling arguments. "You're too optimistic," Jordan snapped one night. "This isn't a fairy tale." His words cut deep, exposing our fractures. Then came the betrayal that shattered the fragile peace. I confided in my sister, sworn to secrecy, about my feelings, not naming Jordan. But she pieced it together, confronted me. "Mike's brother? Alex, that's messed up." Panic surged. "You can't tell anyone," she promised, but doubt seeded. Days later, at a family dinner, mine and Mike's blended through years of friendship. Tension crackled. My sister avoided my gaze. Mike's mom made a snide remark about the gays ruining sports. Jordan stiffened beside me, our secret a live wire. That night, Jordan exploded. "Your sister knows? How could you?" I defended myself. I needed someone, but guilt flooded. Had I risked everything for a moment of relief? He stormed out, leaving me alone with the echo of the door slam. Sleepless, I questioned every choice. Was love worth this pain? The next morning, his text, "We need space." Space, the word felt like abandonment. Work became a blur. Friends noticed my distraction. Mike called. "You okay, man?" I lied again. The web of deceit tightened, suffocating. Reconciliation came unexpectedly. Jordan appeared at my school after hours, apologetic. I overreacted. "I'm scared too." We hugged, brief, platonic to outsiders, but the emotion surged. Yet the damage lingered. Trust frayed, arguments escalated. "You're reckless," he'd say. "You're cowardly," I'd retort. Each fight peeled back more layers, revealing raw vulnerabilities. His fear of losing family, my dread of isolation. We were mirrors, reflecting each other's pain. But society pressed in. News of a local hate crime, a gay couple attacked, shook us. "That could be us," Jordan whispered. The reality hit. Our love wasn't just personal. It was political, defiant. I attended my first Pride event alone, heart racing, feeling exposed yet empowered. Sharing it with Jordan sparked hope, but also conflict. "I'm not ready for that," he admitted. The gap widened, my push for openness clashing with his caution. The turning point. Mike overheard a phone call, fragments of our secret. "Who's the guy?" he asked casually later. I froze, mind racing. Lie or confess? The choice loomed, a precipice. I deflected, but suspicion planted. Inside, turmoil raged. Was this the moment everything unraveled? Jordan panicked when I told him, "We have to end it." But ending felt impossible. Love had rooted deep, demanding sacrifice. As weeks passed, the strain showed. Jordan lost weight, I snapped at students. Friends distanced, sensing the storm. The price of our love mounted. Isolation, paranoia, eroded self-worth. Yet in quiet moments, his touch, innocent, reassuring, reminded me why. But was it enough? The question echoed, unanswered, as cracks deepened. The suspicion in Mike's eyes grew like a weed, choking our every interaction. "You've been weird, Alex. Spill it." We were at his place, beers in hand, but the casual vibe felt forced. My pulse thundered. Tell him? The truth clawed at my throat, but fear held it back. "Just work stress," I muttered. He nodded, unconvinced, and the lie settled like lead in my gut. How many more could I tell before they buried me? Jordan and I met in secrecy, a motel on the outskirts of town, the kind where no one asked questions. "This can't go on," he said, voice breaking. His hands trembled as he paced. I saw the tall, dark circles, strained smiles. Mike's onto something. If he finds out from someone else. The unspoken hung heavy. Betrayal would destroy us all. Inside, conflict raged. Part of me wanted to scream it from rooftops, to claim our love unapologetically. But the other part, the scared kid from a judgmental home, whispered caution. Why did authenticity demand such sacrifice? Family dinner amplified the agony. Seated across from Jordan, our knees brushed accidentally? Or was it? Electricity sparked, but guilt followed. Mike's dad ranted about woke culture ruining America. His words like barbs. Jordan's face paled, fists clenched under the table. I wanted to defend, to challenge, but silence won. Coward, my mind accused. Later, alone with Jordan, tears came. I can't sit through that anymore, he sobbed. Holding him, I felt his pain as my own. Our love was a refuge, yet it isolated us further. Friends faded. Lies piled up. Was this freedom or prison? The moral quandary deepened. Was hiding ethical or a betrayal of self? I journaled furiously, words pouring out. Loving him feels right, but the deception poisons it. Jordan shared similar thoughts, his voice raw over late calls. Dad would disown me. Mom too. His vulnerability gutted me. We'd both seen relatives shunned for less. Cousins cut off for lifestyle choices. Society's judgment loomed, a constant judge. At work, a student's essay on discrimination hit home. Why hide who you are? It asked. Hypocrisy burned. Then, the confrontation that cracked the facade. My sister, unable to hold it, hinted to our mom. Alex has something to tell you. Panic exploded. I denied, but seeds were sown. Mom's worried calls followed. Are you okay? You can tell me anything. Anything? Doubtful. The pressure mounted, forcing a choice. Tell Jordan? Burden him more? I chose silence, adding another layer of deceit. Our relationship strained under the weight. Arguments turned vicious. You're pushing too hard, Jordan yelled during a heated drive. And you're hiding forever. I shot back. Hurt flashed in his eyes, mirroring my own. We made up, but scars remained. Each reconciliation felt fragile, emotions raw. Love persisted, but at what cost? Sleepless nights brought introspection. Was I selfish for wanting more? Or brave? Society's backlash hit personally when a colleague outed himself and faced backlash. Whispers lost promotions. That's our future, Jordan said grimly. Fear intensified, but so did resolve. I attended support groups anonymously, hearing stories of loss and triumph. Sharing fragments with Jordan sparked debates. Some families come around, I argued. Ours won't, he countered. The divide grew, love tangled with resentment. Mike's probing escalated. You and Jordan seemed tense. At a bar, his words slurred but sharp. I laughed it off, heart racing. Inside, the dam cracked. How long before it burst? Jordan suggested cooling off. For our sake. The words stabbed. Separation, unthinkable. Yet days without him amplified the void. Loneliness consumed, forcing reflection. Love without freedom. Was it worth it? Reunion brought explosion. At a park, Jordan confessed. I told a friend. For support. Betrayal surged. You risked us. Hypocrisy hit. I'd done similar. We fought. Voices rising. Emotions boiling. We're destroying each other, he cried. Tears flowed, raw and unchecked. In that moment, vulnerability peaked. We clung, whispering apologies, but damage deepened. The aftermath, isolation intensified. Friends sensed rifts, family questioned moods. Mike cornered me. What's really going on? Deflection failed. Suspicion hardened. Inside, turmoil peaked. Love versus loyalty, self versus society. Choices loomed, each with steep prices. Jordan's texts grew desperate. I can't lose you, but I can't lose them. The conflict tore at us, emotions heavier, stakes higher. As high tide approached, a hate-filled sermon at church, attended out of obligation, pushed the edge. Abominations, the pastor thundered. Jordan walked out mid-service, me following. Outside, he broke. I won't live like this. Resolve sparked, but fear countered. The push-pull exhausted, leaving us raw. The breaking point arrived like a thunderclap, shattering the fragile equilibrium we'd clung to. Mike burst into my apartment unannounced, face twisted in fury. Is it true? You and Jordan. My blood ran cold. How? My sister, perhaps, or his friend. Denial died on my lips. His eyes demanded truth. Yes, I whispered, the word a release and a curse. He staggered back, betrayal etching deep lines. My best friend and my brother? How could you? The accusation hung, heavy with pain. Inside, chaos erupted. I'd anticipated anger, but not this raw hurt. We didn't plan it, I pleaded. It just happened. Lame words. Insufficient. Mike paced, fists clenched. You've been lying to my face. For months. Guilt surged, drowning me. He was right. I'd chosen secrecy over honesty, love over brotherhood. The cost stared back. A fractured bond, perhaps irreparable. Get out, he spat. But it was him who left, door slamming like a finality. Jordan called immediately, voice frantic. He knows. He confronted me too. Panic laced his words. Dad's suspicious now. The dominoes fell one by one. Family texts flooded, concerned at first, then accusatory. Mom, what's this about you and Jordan? Dad's silence screamed louder. Society's judgment amplified through whispers. Neighbors' stares, colleagues' side eyes. Isolation clamped tighter, a vice on my chest. We met in a deserted lot, rain pounding like our hearts. Jordan's eyes, red-rimmed, met mine. This is what I feared. Blame tinged his tone, igniting fire. You pushed for more, I countered. And you hid too long. The fight escalated, words weapons honed by months of tension. Maybe we were wrong, he choked. The thought gutted me. Was our love a mistake? Tears mixed with rain, emotions cresting in waves of despair. Home alone, reflection turned torturous. Memories flashed. First kiss, shared dreams, quiet confessions. But overlaid with pain, lies, fights, losses. Was the joy worth the devastation? Moral quandaries swirled. Betraying family for personal happiness. Selfish or necessary? I wrestled, sleepless. The void without Jordan aching like a wound. Confrontations multiplied. Mike's dad called a family meeting, us included by proxy. Seated in their living room, tension thick as fog. Explain yourselves, he demanded, voice steel. Jordan spoke first, voice trembling. Dad, I'm gay, and I love Alex. The admission hung, explosive. Silence shattered by outrage. This is unnatural. A phase. Accusations flew, brainwashing, perversion. Mom wept silently, Mike glared. I defended. It's who we are. But words bounced off walls of prejudice. The fallout was swift, brutal. Jordan was cut off financially, me shunned by proxy. Friends divided, some supportive, others distant. Work suffered. A parent's complaint about my lifestyle threatened my job. Society's claws dug deep. Online hate after a leaked post, stares in stores. Paranoia peaked, every glance a judgment. Yet amid ruin, glimmers emerged. Jordan moved in temporarily, our bond tested by fire. We chose this, he said one night, holding me. But doubt lingered. Mike's absence haunted. Reconciliation seemed impossible. He'll come around, I hoped. Jordan shook his head. At what price? Moral reckoning intensified. Was outing ourselves righteous or reckless? The damage to others weighed heavy. Jordan's mom called, torn. I love you, but conditional love stung. My family mirrored, disappointment veiled as concern. Inside, self-doubt festered. Had I destroyed lives for my happiness? A turning point. Mike showed up unexpectedly. I hate what you did, he said, voice raw. But you're my brother, Jordan. And Alex, you were my friend. Past tense sliced. We talked hours, emotions spilling, hurt, anger, confusion. Why hide? He asked. Fear, Jordan admitted. Understanding dawned slowly, but wounds gaped. Healing began tentatively. Family therapy suggested, resisted at first. Society's pressure eased with support from unexpected allies. A cousin, a coworker. But scars remained. Love endured, but transformed, harder, more resilient. Yet questions persisted. Was the pain justified? As months passed, Normalcy crept back, shadowed by loss. Jordan's job stabilized. Mine too. But Mike's distance lingered, a constant ache. We attended Pride together, defiant, but the victory felt Pyrrhic. Emotions, once simmering, now boiled over in quiet moments. Regret, pride, sorrow intertwined. The ultimate sacrifice loomed when Jordan's dad offered reconciliation, with conditions. End it with Alex. The ultimatum tore at him. Family or love? He agonized. I watched him break, my own heart shattering. Choice crystallized. What would he pay? The ultimatum hung like a noose, tightening with each passing day. Jordan stared at the phone, his dad's message glaring. Come home alone, or don't come at all. Tears streamed down his face, silent and devastating. I can't choose, he whispered, collapsing into my arms. But he had to, we both knew it. The weight crushed, forcing introspection deeper than ever. Family blood versus chosen love. Which bond was unbreakable? Nights blurred into torment. Jordan paced our small apartment, muttering prayers he no longer believed. He raised me, Alex. Flawed. But there. Guilt ravaged him. Abandoning kin for sin. I listened, my own pain secondary. You deserve both, I urged, but words rang hollow. Society's narrative echoed. Family first, always. Yet our love defied that, a rebellion with casualties. Mike's tentative outreach, awkward texts, offered hope, but not enough. The decision loomed, a cliff's edge. Jordan met his dad alone, me waiting in agony. Hours stretched, imagination torturing. Rejection, acceptance, loss. He returned broken. He won't budge. Sobs racked him. I chose you. Relief surged, mingled with sorrow. The price? Estrangement. A void where family once stood. Was it worth it? He asked, eyes haunted. The question mirrored my soul. Fallout rippled. Holidays alone, calls unanswered. Jordan's mom sneaked visits, torn loyalty evident. I pray for you, she'd say, words a double-edged sword. Society judged harsher, lost invitations, whispered slurs. But within, growth bloomed. Therapy unearthed buried traumas, childhood suppression, internalized hate. We're healing, Jordan said one session, hand in mine, yet scars throbbed. Mike bridged slowly. A coffee meet turned confessional. I was angry, betrayed, he admitted. But seeing you too, it's real. Tears flowed, barriers crumbling. I miss my brother. And you, Alex. Forgiveness tentative but real. Family redefined, not blood alone but choice. Yet peace eluded. Jordan's doubts resurfaced in quiet hours. Did I betray them?
Moral ambiguity gnaved.
Society's progress clashed with personal loss. Pride parades celebrated, but our story scarred. I wrestled too, pushing him toward openness, heroic or harmful. A year later, at a support group, stories echoed ours. Losses, triumphs. Jordan shared, voice steady. Love cost me family, but gave me truth. Applause followed, but his eyes held sorrow. Homeward, he confessed, sometimes I regret. Honesty gutted, forcing reflection. Was our path right? Challenges persisted. Job discrimination for Jordan, a promotion denied subtly. My school faced backlash, petitions circulating. Defiance hardened us, advocacy emerging. We volunteered, fighting the system that wounded. But exhaustion crept, emotions peaking in breakdowns. Why us? Jordan cried one night. Because we're strong, I replied, unsure. Reconciliation flickered when his dad reached out, health failing. I want to see you. Conditions? None stated. Jordan went, hope warring fear. Returned transformed. He apologized, sort of. I don't understand, but you're my son. Tears of relief, but caution remained. Full acceptance? Unlikely, yet a crack in the wall. Our love evolved, deeper amid trials. Quiet evenings, shared dreams, future without shadows. But memories haunted. Initial kiss, betrayals, sacrifices. The journey's toll evident in weary eyes, resilient spirits. In the end, we stood together, society's gaze less piercing. Friends returned, family mended patchwork. Mike hosted a barbecue, awkward but genuine. Laughter mingled with tension, progress fragile. Yet questions lingered, profound and unresolved. We'd chosen love, paid dearly, lost bonds, endured hate, found strength. Was it the right path, or a selfish unraveling?